But we begin with a family trying to come to terms with the death of a young father shot and killed by a 12-year-old boy. His family says the 26-year-old was trying to intervene in a fight when the boy grabbed a gun.
Devontae Relford was shot outside a home on Detroit's west side this weekend. The father of two died at the hospital. Victor Williams has been speaking with his family. Victor?
Well, it was just yesterday that we had to deal with the news that it was a 12-year-old that was charged with this man's death. But now we're learning more about the victim and the major void he now leaves behind.
Let me tell y'all brothers something in this black community, man. In this community. Let me speak to you brothers. Come close. These young boys hate you. Deal with it. Okay? If you ain't their basketball coach, their football coach, something dealing with athletics, they hate you. You remind them of their father that left them alone to grow up in this concrete jungle we know as Blackistan. Whether it's right or wrong, they hate you. You don't feel the hate from young guys? Young brothers have for older guys? You don't feel the animus, the vitriol? I guarantee you, this kid did not have to do that. There was no, pressing need. There was no immediate danger for this kid to shoot this guy. I believe that this kid killed him because he knows in Blackistan, where the most of the juvenile delinquents are, they know that they'll be out by 21. And they know that they're going to get street cred for this. And they know that there's very few consequences for their crimes. So they can't even process, okay, damn, I'm about to kill a man, I'm going to really go to jail, or they might charge me as an adult. They don't think that. They just know that their little buddy been arrested 40, 50 times. He 15, and he's staring at him right now. He looking at his boy right now, been arrested 40, 50 times. He's staring at his other boy, been arrested 20 times. They all right there in the group. They about to fight some other little boys that been arrested 20, 30, 40 times. For carjackings, robberies. He got released the next day. So mix the hatred they have for you with the fact that they don't receive consequences. Everybody running around talking about the criminal justice system. I know y'all heard this. Black kids get introduced into the criminal justice. Yeah, because they robbing people and carjacking people. But they don't get no consequences. They just get introduced like hi and bye. That's their introduction to the criminal justice system when they under 18. Hi and bye. Maybe they'll, get invited over for dinner. Or spend the night, sleep over. But most of the time, if they don't kill you, their introduction to the criminal justice system is hi and bye. And when you young like that, man, it's just hard to not escalate your crimes and keep escalating your crimes when you're getting out and when you're getting arrested, like the police is chasing you down, catching you, putting you in handcuffs, not killing you, putting you in handcuffs, putting you back in the squad car, driving to the station. 2 hours later, your mother come pick you up, you home, you go to school the next day, you got a war story, you bragging, boasting, yada, yada, yada. And make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that PayPal, that super chat. Our super chat should look like Kevin Samuel's super chat. We the only channel that highlights these good people in the black community and the deaths they meet every day. What other channel talks about these good black people? Productive black citizens. All the high-value black men, the real high-value black men. Not some dude that mad he ain't getting no cooch in college. And now want to tell a girl on the first date that she fat and he ain't going to be a stepdaddy to her kids and he ain't even smashed yet. And think that that's going to work. Because there's a dude online shooting women down and talking about them, talking aggressive towards them. You can't do that in your life. This is the channel y'all need to support, as well as support that channel too. Cause I definitely ain't don't want to stop nobody else from getting no support. But it shouldn't just be white people supporting this channel. Now white people continue to support this channel, and Hispanic people. Salute to all my Hispanics, man, and my Asians, and the tons of blacks that already support it. But what I'm saying is that mostly the channel, we talk about black people majority of the time because that's who commits the crime. Newsflash, that's who commits the crime. I've been asking you guys for years to send me stories about white people. Send me the story of the one white town that's like the 10,000 black towns where there's people getting shot and killed in the street every day, and they're having peace walks, and the mayor making a plea to the gangs to stop killing kids. Show me one white town like that. You haven't been able to show me one. The majority of the people we talk about on this channel is black. Black people should be supporting this channel. This brother right here would die a faceless, nameless death if it wasn't for us here. And thank you guys for sending me these stories, man, about these brothers. Because this brother right here, he should, his legacy should be greater than a goddamn junkie like George Floyd, or a child abuser like Rashard Brooks, or a thug like Jacob Blake.
The death of a young father shot and killed by a 12-year-old boy. His family says the 26-year-old was trying to intervene in a fight when the boy grabbed a gun.
Devontae Relford was shot outside a home on Detroit's west side this weekend. The father of two died at the hospital. Victor Williams has been speaking with his family. Victor?
Well, it was just yesterday that we had to deal with the news that it was a 12-year-old that was charged with this man's death. But now we're learning more about the victim and the major void he now leaves behind.
He had a heart to go. He was sweet. He didn't do anything. You call him, he was there.
3 long days have passed since 26-year-old Devontae Relford was tragically killed in a home on Mark Twain Sunday night. His sister Brittany and other family members are still trying to come to terms with his untimely death.
Can't. We lost a rock.
The person accused of pulling the trigger during a heated physical altercation is a 12-year-old. Brittany says Devontae was trying to protect his younger sibling, who was in a fight with her ex. It's believed that while Devontae was trying to intervene, the ex-boyfriend's preteen nephew grabbed a gun, striking Devontae from behind.
The 12-year-old shot my brother in the back, not facing him, not charging him, wasn't coming after him. Shot him in the back multiple times and said, yeah, I did it, because he was whooping on my uncle.
The circumstances are still under investigation. Either way, Brittany says Devontae was a kind man who leaves behind 2 children, 6-year-old Sydney and 3-year-old Caden.
That man was an excellent father. He wouldn't have did anything for his kids.
And the
Look at them faces, man. Look at them hard faces. That boy gonna grow up hard. That boy gonna be trouble in the future. And that girl, she gonna be trouble too, in her own right. Because boys go to juvie and girls get pregnant. That's how it works out. Man. And the killer gonna be out in a few years. And he gonna be bad to the bone. Ain't gonna be no rehabilitation. Ain't gonna be no turning your life around. That stuff happens once in a million times. You might hear a story, some great story, some brother went to jail early and then turned his life around. That stuff rarely happens. Most times, they come out after being in those environments with all those killers and dealers and drug dealers and thugs and gangsters, and they come out hardened and harder and slicker and wiser in the street game. They leave behind kids like this. Them kids right there, them kids ain't even crying. They don't. I just hate that. I hate what Blackistan does to good, honest, hard-working people, man. I hate it, man. It really tears me up, man.
Devontae was a kind man who leaves behind 2 children, 6-year-old Sydney and 3-year-old Caden.
That man was an excellent father. He wouldn't have did anything for his kids.
In the meantime, Devontae's loved ones are hoping for a harsher charge for the 12-year-old, something more than manslaughter and felony firearm.
That's not a child anymore. He been grown up. For you to take a gun and shoot someone in the back multiple times and have no remorse, you gone.
And to make matters worse, we're told that Devontae's nieces and nephews were there when this happened, and they had to witness him dying. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Just awful. Okay, Victor, thank you.
Tonight we are learning more about one of the lives lost during a violent weekend in Atlanta. A family will never know what the future held for Alicia Merrill. Her mother now left to only imagine and remember her daughter's passions.
They took my child away from me. They took my child. She loves music. She was trying to rap. You know, she's always going to the studio. She loved music and she loved her family.
Now, this girl being a rapper, very dangerous occupation, very dangerous profession. Very, 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 very dangerous. Much more dangerous than being a soldier. Very, very, very dangerous profession. We're talking about a profession that what? How many videos did I do on my other channel, Ock Nation News? And make sure you subscribe to Ock Nation News. I go live on there quite frequently, as well on my other channel, Living Room Gangster. So if you're not subscribed to all of my channels that are listed in the description box, you're missing out on a lot of great content. Live streams where we can interact. I can answer your questions directly. You know, I can, really vibe with you guys. I think what we had last stream, we had 70 in the building. But, whatever. Those small groups is a lot better, than having a big group. I can actually talk to you guys. So make sure if you got any question that you asked me in the comment section that I wasn't able to respond to because there's so many comments, make sure you subscribe to Living Room Gangster and Ock Nation TV so that you can see the live stream. I'm going to do one tomorrow during the afternoon, so make sure you tune into that. But on that channel, I do a lot of stuff about hip-hop. It's actually all the stuff over there is about hip-hop and celebrities. And the amount of rappers that die is just crazy. I may do a video about this, more in-depth video about this over there, but it's just sad, man. A lot. It's a very dangerous profession.
You know, she's always going to the studio. She loved music and she loved her family.
Alicia was shot and killed this weekend while unloading a U-Haul in northwest Atlanta. She was one of 6 people killed in this weekend's violence across the city. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Jennifer Bellamy in tonight for Aisha Howard.
And I'm Ron Jones. So whoever shot and killed Alicia is still out there somewhere, folks. Hope Ford is live for us tonight, and hope you actually heard from family and the community at a vigil at the apartment complex where Alicia was killed, right?
Yeah, and when I tell you that community is hurting and fed up, they told us they just don't know what else to do. They've complained to the landlord and rent office when things have happened. They've called the police numerous times when things have happened. But now a young woman is dead, and they're concerned that if something isn't done, she may not be the last victim.
So this is a community, a black community. So many little black teenage and young black men causing problems over there, that they've complained to the rental office, they've complained to the police. But again, I find it's hard for me because Atlanta was, oh my God, they were anti-police this time last year. Well, a little later, not quite this time, because what is it, May 20-something, so everything hadn't started. We actually hasn't even been a year since George Floyd died. Atlanta kind of blew up for real after Rayshard Brooks, and I think that was June. But they really went in with the anti-police stuff. So, you know, I don't feel sorry for them. I'm sorry, I can't. Anytime a guy like Rayshard Brooks, who was an early COVID release, like he got out early from jail from a 7-year sentence for child cruelty to children. And I know people who've been to family court because of whooping their kids and stuff like that. You got to have done something. These weren't just whippings for you to get 7 years. The judge gave you 7 years for cruelty to children. The hell was he doing to them kids? And then you get out early because of COVID, and you driving around drunk, don't know what city you in. Get in an interaction with the 2 nicest cops. Go watch that video. The nicest 2 cops you could ever meet. Literally, it's like Barney Fife got cloned twice. And them the 2 cops that came and approached Rayshard Brooks. Barney Fife and Gomer Pyle. Watch that 40-minute video of them interacting with him. They the nicest, most gullible, believe anything, try to give you 1,050 chances to get it right cops you ever wanted to meet. And he gonna beat them up and take their taser and shoot them with it. And that's who Atlanta said they ain't want no police for. I don't feel sorry for you.
Yeah, and when I tell you that community is hurting and fed up, they told us they just don't know what else to do. They've complained to the landlord and rent office when things have happened. They've called the police numerous times when things have happened. But now a young woman is dead, and they're concerned that if something isn't done, she may not be the last victim.
It been so much violence, shooting. I jump out of the bed and get on the floor. My granddaughter shot down like a dog up there. That's not right.
Alicia Merrill was 27, the type of person her mom says her siblings looked up to.
They listen to her more than they listen to me.
She was shot multiple times. Her family says they don't know why. The community...
Rap beef. She got shot over some kind of rap beef. Something she said on the record, or something somebody perceived she said, or some ongoing feud between rappers. I'm telling you, man, rap is the most dangerous profession. The most dangerous in the United States. By far. And a lot of them is activists too. A lot of these rappers are activists. One out of one side of their neck. That's why I was glad Kwame Brown touched on that. Out of all these fake activists, one side of their neck, it's the police brutality, man. The white man. Then on the other side of the neck is, I'm going to shoot up your mother house. I'm going to duct tape your grandmother. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to rob you. Then they see some white people, man, George Floyd, man, they killing us, man.
She was shot multiple times. Her family says they don't know why. The community that you see here at her vigil loved her, says she was generous, always helping the kids in the complex and looking forward to the future. And now she's being talked about in the past tense.
Imagine what she was going to be. You know how much life that child had to live? I'm 60-something years old. That child was going to live a life, man. And if it don't bother y'all, something wrong with y'all.
Something is wrong with them. Something is wrong with them, man. Something wrong with them from coast to coast. Every little crack and crevice, little town, little city, little borough, principality where they at, something is wrong with them. Something is wrong. And they busy. They the main one talking about somebody else. Something wrong with somebody else. You notice that? The only people complaining about other Americans are them. That group that something is wrong with. They stand on the highest pulpit they can find. Talk about this group, that group, somebody doing something to them. And every goddamn day, all across the country, they slaughtering each other in the streets. And nobody's saying a damn word about it in the mainstream media. They talking about goddamn, they talking about over there in the Middle East. That's one day in Blackistan. If you take Blackistan as a country, just us as a country, what's going on in the Middle East is one day in Blackistan.
Imagine what she was going to be. You know how much life that child had to live? I'm 60-something years old. That child was going to live a life, man. And if it don't bother y'all, something wrong with y'all.
Her death hits hard for the people living at Magnolia Gardens because they say they've tried to prevent someone from dying.
I want it to stop, because we need to have somewhere to live. They moving all the drug dealers in here. I don't care. I'm telling it all today. And I am so tired. At the police department can tell y'all, and I called them so many times.
Now niggas gonna be running around talking about, man, that grandmother hot, man. That grandmother working with the police, man. Niggas gonna be mad at her. I shit you not. They gonna be mad at this woman. Man, she working with the feds, man. But grandma, y'all asked for this, man. Y'all asked for this, man. Y'all asked for this.
I want it to stop, because we need to have somewhere to live. They moving all the drug dealers in here. I don't care. I'm telling it all today. And I am so tired. At the police department can tell y'all, and I called them so many times.
Retired detention officer Bruce Griggs says he's tired of going to vigils, tired of the violence moving from one family to another.
And we always brag about how great Atlanta is, the black Hollywood and all this money we got around here, and we let these children go through this. I don't even want to talk about it no more because it bothers me bad.
I know.
During a balloon release, some of the balloons got stuck in a tree. The crowd laughed, some joking it's a sign Alicia's spirit will never really leave. But for her family, it's a reminder that a life with Alicia is forever uprooted.
What else can we do, y'all? We need help.
And a former school board member said at the vigil there are really only two questions left. One, who killed Alicia? And two, what is the city, elected leaders, judges, and the community going to do to prevent it from happening again? Her family plans to bury her next week. Ron?
All right, Hope, thanks a lot. And hopefully the family can get the answers that they are looking, the community can get the answers they're looking for. Thank you.
A circle of gun violence in New York City. A mother shot dead at a prayer vigil for a friend who was killed the night before. Welcome back. I'm Christine.
One of the most dangerous places in a black community is a vigil for someone who's been killed. If you have been following this channel, you know that to be true. That is one of the most dangerous places, man. The club, yes. We know the club dangerous. Club dangerous. Yes. Okay. Club dangerous. Cookouts. And you white folk, don't listen to these Wakandans talking about something. You invited to the cookout because you said some woke BS that you don't mean, that you would never say to your kids. Because you want your kids to succeed, but you'll say some woke BS like the SAT is biased. And grades, letter grades are racist, and some stupid crap you say to some Negroes, and get invited to a cookout. Don't take that invitation. Now there ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you personally, but you can get hit with a straight bullet. But them vigils, whoo, those vigils are dangerous.
A mother shot dead at a prayer vigil for a friend who was killed the night before. Welcome back. I'm Christine Johnson.
I'm Maurice Dubois. Police say that mother was killed in a drive-by shooting in Brooklyn.
And today, her family is speaking out as police search for suspects. CBS 2's Natalie Judgewich has more from Brownsville. The uncle and sister of 32-year-old Shalimar Burkett are overcome with grief. Her mother, Patricia Hamilton, could barely speak.
We're very distraught.
On Monday night, Burkett, a mother of two boys, was at a memorial for a friend who was gunned down at a party hours earlier. Investigators say a white sedan drove by the vigil at Park Place and Howard Avenue, and someone fired several rounds, hitting Burkett twice in the head.
Somebody just came by and fired some shots at the crowd. We gotta keep hearing about black people. Don't you always hate when every time you turn on CNN or NBC, they're talking about humanity. Every time some brother get killed by a cop, we're begging America for humanity, empathy. We got the most savage people in our community. She wasn't the target. Just came by, seeing a group of people at the vigil for this guy, sprayed the crowd. She got hit. She was not the target. I guarantee you them dudes was not like, let's go kill her. Nah, it wasn't like that. They wasn't thinking that. They was going to shoot that up.
A mother of two boys was at a memorial for a friend who was gunned down at a party hours earlier. Investigators say a white sedan drove by the vigil at Park Place and Howard Avenue, and someone fired several rounds, hitting Burkett twice in the head. She was rushed to Brookdale Hospital, where she died.
At a candlelight vigil, what kind of person will do something like that?
She's outgoing, lovely, a lovely personality. She's fun. She always liked to be out.
Police say Shalimar was an innocent bystander and believe the bullets were intended for gang members standing nearby. So far this year, there have been 564 people shot citywide compared to 316 by this time last year. So far this year, there have been 564 people shot citywide compared to 316 by this time last year.
564 shot so far this year, this date, compared to 316 last year. And I want to show y'all who been taking them, what that extra, because you got to understand, it's blood on people's hands. That's 250 more murders. they've had this year than last year at this time. 250 more people have died because of this anti-police, defund the police, because of the disbandment of the plainclothes police officers. Now these thugs don't have to worry about nothing when they go out. When these thugs go out, they don't have anything to worry about. They don't have to worry about getting pulled over, because that's a big thing when you're going to do a drive-by. When you're going to shoot somebody, you riding with a bunch of cars, a bunch of niggas in the car, you trying not to get pulled over. You're not trying to even have the police behind you, because you're not going to stop. You're going to make them chase you, but still, you don't want to get any police attention. If you're getting out and you're walking to the scene, if you're walking with a gun, you don't want what they call stop and frisk. But really was cleaning up the streets from thugs. It was stopping and frisking thugs and stopping and frisking gang members. $250 extra people. Let's see what them people look like. Let's see if there's a common theme, because I've been hearing a lot in New York about hate crimes against Asians and Asian hate and all these attacks on Asians. So if there's been 250 more people murdered than were murdered this time last year in a very violent city last year, if 250 extra people have been killed this year at this time, let's go see how many Asians is on this list. All right, let's see what these 250 extra lives lost look like because of defund the police, which really happened in New York. Like, they literally defunded. They took away an entire 600-man unit of plainclothes police officers that was responsible for 80% of the guns taken off the streets. Stop me when you see an Asian and hit that damn like button. We shouldn't have to keep telling people to hit the like button on this channel. It looked like the vast majority of them 250, if it's 250 extra murders this year, I'd say 225 of them Negroes. And I don't see any goddamn Asians. None. It's all black and a sprinkling of brown, like a just smattering of brown, but all black.
So far this year, there have been 564 people shot citywide compared to 316 by this time last year. The 73rd precinct where this happened has the second highest number of shooting victims citywide, up 130% from the previous year.
We need the police to really help bring justice. I know that right now, like, they have this whole big thing where they're trying to get rid of cops. We really need them.
Burkett's brother was also the victim of gun violence, killed 3 years ago.
This is a black family right here. The daughter gets killed at a vigil for a friend that was killed the night before, and the brother was killed 3 years earlier. And you got Negroes running around talking about anything other than this. You only got one athlete that'll touch this topic. One. Kwame Brown. He's the only athlete that will touch this. No other athlete will touch this. No actor. No rapper. No activist. Nobody. YouTube. Who talking about this? That this is a typical black family. Sister killed by gun violence, the brother killed by gun violence. That's a typical black family. And we have to beg people to hit the like button. We gotta beg for the donations. And these ain't thugs either. These are not thugs. These are not thugs. The gang members were standing nearby. This was not. I'm not talking about thugs. All them people you seen, many of those people you saw on that list I just showed you, the gun memorial, I done did videos on many of those people on there. They not thugs. They not gangsters. They regular, everyday people.
We need the police to really help bring justice. I know that right now, like, they have this whole big thing where they're trying to get rid of cops. We really need them.
Burkett's brother was also the victim of gun violence, killed 3 years ago. Their mother is now mourning the loss of 2 children and will raise her grandchildren. In Brownsville, Brooklyn, Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.
This is a tragedy we're facing, and it's only early May. If we don't do something immediately, by July and August, the ground will be covered with the blood of innocent victims. We need the police department